Okay, thank you all newcomers for joining in. If you can all hear me well and see me well, we are going to get started with today's class. My name is Josema. I'm Customer Success Manager at Customily, and together with Morena, we will be hosting this presentation and showing you the basics of the app. You'll be able to ask questions along the way, and we'll be answering them on the chat at the end of the presentation. Remember that this live session is being recorded and it's going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel later today or tomorrow. In that video, as well as all other live sessions, you will find on the description the link to download the files we're going to be using so you can follow the lesson and replicate the products you see on the videos. If you're joining us for the first time, you'll probably wonder, what is Customily? Customily is an app that installs on your e-commerce store and provides your shoppers with live previews of personalizable products. With Customily, your shoppers will be able to interact with options by typing texts, selecting fonts, colors, images, locations, quotes, as well as uploading their own pictures, for example. Each interaction will show them live how the personalization will look on the finished product, enhancing the shopping experience and increasing your conversion rate. In this example, we have a bookmark, and this is our poet gnome design. Customily has offered the options for us to change the icon of the gnome we want to personalize, as well as picking from different quotes. As you can see on the preview, how the finished product will look and how it changes when we pick different quotes, for example. On the same line, we could also have another bookmark with another design, in this case for newborns, and options from Customily will allow you to type any name, any message, and pick the images you want. Of course, so we do not use baby images, we just pick this friend here. But we could type something and see how the live preview will change and show you how the finished product will be looking, all using Customily. So you could actually control this the way you want and upload anything to this like that. So you see, whatever image you upload, you can position and adjust or even rotate if you want to present like this. And there are other two images in this particular design. So the way this works is that Customily will load a template in here and an option set in here. So they will show on the front end of your store for each product. Within the app, you will have many tools to create these templates and options. But that's not all. Apart from the live preview, Customily will take the personalization information from the orders you receive and create a printing file that is ready for you to take to whatever fulfillment service or machine you use to fulfill your products. So imagine how much time our tool is saving you if you think back to the way you used to offer personalized products, how you had to collect the shopper's data, create proofs, wait for feedback, make corrections, and much more. All that time and effort has been reduced and automated with Customily's live preview and production files to make your work faster and easier. And now that we know that Customily is a great tool for your online store and that it will help you optimize the shopping experience of your visitors, we can start learning about the app itself. It's important that you approach it with some clear concepts about your business. I highly recommend you ask yourself some questions before beginning. The first one is about the current status of your store. Will I be creating new products, either for an empty new store or for a new collection in an existing store? Or will I be selling my existing products and turning them customizable? If you're working with existing products, you will use what we call Customily 1.0. With this, you will be creating templates from scratch and then linking them to your existing products, all from the app itself. The options that your shoppers will use will be created automatically, so you don't need to worry about having to code anything. This direct way of using Customily is available for all e-commerce platforms that we integrate with, and you can see them on the slide as well as any custom coded store. Now, if you will be creating new products, more questions will pop up. Am I doing my own fulfillment? For example, with my own workshop or a local company? Or am I fulfilling with a known print on demand supplier? And then, do I have my own designs that will be personalized? Or will I be using pre made designs from Customily? These two questions will be the entry point to use what we call Customily 2.0. This is our latest update and will allow you to create new listings more easily, faster, and better. And this option is only available for Etsy and Shopify stores. So within Customily 2.0, you will have 4 ways of creating new products. If you're working with known POD providers, you have 2 options. You can select a product from their catalog and then add an exclusive design that our illustration team has created for you. These are royalty-free designs and clip art that you can freely use and manage. Or you can select a product from the POD catalog and use our design studio to create your own designs that can be personalizable. On the other hand, if you're going to fulfill on your own, you have 2 similar options. You can automate processes by creating product bases, which are the product mockups of what you want to sell, and will act the same way as the POD products. And then you can add a custom design to the product base, or create your own custom designs in the design studio to use over your product base. Each time you combine a product base with a design, a new template is born and linked to a new listing that Customily automatically creates in your store for you. Product bases can be from a POD catalog or your own, and designs can be from Customily's collection or your own. The result will be the same. In the case of POD products, the listing will be connected to the print on demand using an API key. So each time there's a purchase, Customily can automatically send the print file for fulfillment. So more time-saving advantages. Okay, so let's dive into the app and see how it works. Okay, when you access Customily for the first time, pay attention and complete the onboarding you will get, as it will help you answer many of the questions stated before. Then you can see the different sections of the app, and based on your answers, you can easily navigate through them. Here we are in the Start section. This is the 2.0 main interface where you can create new products, either using POD suppliers or your own product bases. You can see right now the print-on-demand providers that have been integrated with us so far. There are many on queue to be integrated, and today we are officially launching T-Launch as our new print-on-demand provider integrated. So this is a brand new exclusive for all of you watching this. You also here have a quick view of your design collection and your product-based collection. If you check the left menu, you can see that these 2 collections have their own sections as well. In the templates section, you'll be able to create new templates and also see all the templates created automatically with the 2.0 tools. This is the core section of the app, and you can rename, clone, delete, and edit any template all the time. In the libraries section, you'll be able to upload your personal assets and organize them for quick access and use. You can create colors fonts, vectors, and image libraries. And this is very important to remember because Customily is an asset manager, not an asset creator. Your images, designs, fonts, etc. will be created or purchased outside of the app. For example, you can create images in Canva, download them in JPG or PNG files, and then organize them in Customily's libraries for later use in templates and designs. In the store section, you can see all the products currently in your store, whether they are draft or active, and see those products linked to Customily, which templates and option sets are loading, of course, on each product. And you can unlink or relink any product. So you can also access many settings and styles to customize the front-end experience of your shoppers. Now, in the orders section, this is a new feature and for now only available for Shopify stores in beta version. Here, you will get a register for all orders made using Customily with backup information about the personalization data selected, the preview, the print file, and much more. All the order information created in Customily will always be stored safely in the order dashboard of each e-commerce platform. So you don't have to worry about that. You will always have all the information in your e-commerce dashboard. This will be a future backup for you to manage. So now that we have a more clear idea of how to navigate over the app, I would like to know if we have some questions before jumping in to create products together. Excellent. So today we're going to create these two products. You see, how am I going to be creating two products like this really fast? Is because we are actually going to use the Customily 2.0 tools to automate some processes. We need to first position ourselves in what do we want to do. We want to sell a bookmark, and the bookmark is basically this empty rectangle with the cording and the finished touch. We have this image, this mock-up image looking really nice and having this context. And what we are going to do is present printable options for customers. So if we know we are going to be using the same product, the same bookmark product, each time we have a new listing on our store, and in this case, I'm going to be using a Shopify store, but we can use an Etsy store since we have 2.0 tools. What we're going to do is we need to create a product base, and this is the section we need to focus on. Why? Because if you create a product base, it's pretty much the same as having products from print-on-demand providers. You will have the information of the printing size, and you will have the information of the mockup. So in this case, you will create this on your own because you are your own fulfillment. What sort of information you need to start with a product base? You need to have the print information about the print size information about this bookmark. We know for a fact that this bookmark has a print area of 5 centimeters by 16 centimeters, for example, but also you need to know if you're going to be printing with a PNG file, with a PDF file. That information is very important for you to set up the print profile, and then you need to have a nice mockup to present to your customers. With that information, you can get started with a product base. So we're going to create a new product base here. Of course, you can always jump into the product base section without any problem. We're going to call this the live session bookmark, right? And remember, we have the information that our print area is 50 by 160. If you are more comfortable working with inches or pixels, you can also do that. Depends on the information from your fulfillment machine or provider. Once we have this printing setup and this name setup, we create the new page. So now we have this maximum print area presented to us, and this will be printed for real whenever we get an order from one of our bookmark products. Whatever design we are going to be picking later will be placed on this print area with this specific size and printing on the export format we establish. Right now we have EPS selected by default, but we have vector formats like DXF, PDF, and Illustrator, or we have image files as PNG and JPEG, and also we have embroidery format as well. If we pick an image format, we can set up the resolution we want this to be rendered. And now that we have the production file settings all in order, like in the first step, we can click next and craft the second part of our product base, which is the preview. So in the preview, we want to add product images. We can add one or more depending on the type of product. T-shirts will have multiple images because they will have multiple colors. The same with maybe jewelry that will have materials. And but some products will have just one image, one base that we can present here. Now this is our mockup, this is our product image, and our print area we can adjust to the mockup, so whenever we create a new product, this will show exactly the way we want. See, I'm going to just drag this. Even if the image is not perfect, remember we are trying to present our customers with a realistic example of how it's going to look. If we want this to be more accurate, we can open the Transform tab and try to see if by flipping this, we may get a better presentation. Okay, like that. So this will be we can be very precise or adjust as much as we want. This will be our mockup, our preview for the customers. So we click next. And before we save it, we can actually see how Customily will work later on the template. Remember, the template is the combination of the product base and the design. So Customily, what we'll do is grab the information of the product base and put a design on the maximum print area, and that creating a new template. So in the same file, on the same template, you will have coexisting the preview for the customer and the print file for you and your fulfillment. And whatever happens here and the customer sees that will replicate on the print area, on the print file. That's the essence of Customily and how any product base will work. The only difference is here we don't have any design. We're going to pick that later. So let's click Save. And since we are not going to be adding any variants, we can just skip this part and have no variants. If we had color variants, we could actually upload multiple images and name them one by one in here. Or if we had multiple sizes, we can save it and add other sizes to the same product. Customily will allow you to set up variants that will later be reflected on any new product. Let's keep everything blank for now and save. Now we have a new product base, okay? And of course, we are in the product base collection. We can always create new product bases, but if we jump to the My Design collection, this may be empty when you start off with Customily, but you can either go to the Start section or create a new design in here. So we're going to create a new design. We have the advantage that we know for a fact that we have a specific proportion for our design to be created. We have this 50 by 160 dimension, and we can replicate that in our design studio. So I'm going to call this design we're going to call this the newborn design. Our idea is to have a group of free photos that we want our customers to upload, and also to type the name of the baby or the pet adopted, and also have a message at the bottom. That was our main idea to begin with, right? So if we refresh this, we can see the example. This is our inspiration, and we want to do this in Customily. So what we do is we put this newborn, new family member design. I like that better. And this is the design studio of Customily. You start off with a square big canvas of 1 by 1 meter, but you can always resize this to fit your particular proportions for your particular product. When you are working with square or close to square dimensions for the print area, you can keep this original uh, canvas, because Customily will always adjust the design to the real print file later. But in this case, we want to click on the resize button at the middle and make sure the proportion is the one we need, so we know we are designing following the exact sizings of the of our product. So now that we have this empty canvas, let's start by checking out what tools we have available. We have text boxes, straight and curved, and this will allow customers to type in whatever text they want. We can just drag and reshape and resize any text box at any point, and we can modify the font, offer multiple font choices, control the size, control the colors, and offer multiple color options as well, all within this text box or curved text box. Then we have placeholders, images or vectors. And you see, when you create a placeholder, basically what you're doing is you're allowing customers, your shoppers, to upload their own images or files in here. Within this box that you can, of course, adjust any way you want, you can let customers upload whatever they want. So we know we're going to be creating another one here and another one here later. You can copy and paste as well, or you can create one by one. Other tools we have for customizations are street maps and star maps. And you can check, we have a lot of live sessions working with these two tools and giving you great ideas for you to create. And then we have dynamic elements, dynamic images, and dynamic vectors. These dynamic elements basically allow you to upload your own artwork and your own clip art. So if you are working with your designs or you have backgrounds you want to upload as static images, you use these dynamic elements, because you see by the icon, you remember they can hold multiple files inside one object. We're going to see that on the other design, the one with the poet gnome. But basically, you can do that. You can upload one image or multiple images, and they will be a fixed element of your design. In the case of the placeholders, this is always empty, and it's your customer, the one that uploads the content. So by having explored these options and these tools, we're going to put together our design. We need another text box that's going to be the lower message. Like this, it's probably going to be a 2-line element like that, and this one will be 1-line element. How do we control everything here? We have a section to test out anything. So we can try, for example, really long names and complex messages, like something like this. This is a very long name, and we can start playing around with there's always a transform tab that you can control coordinates and sizes. You can always use the alignment tools you see here to center this, for example. Or we can extend this to the maximum width like that. That's going to be better. And then we have, let's say, one image here. This is, we can be more precise and go, let's go 40 by 40. And the same goes here, 40 by 40. And the same goes here, like that. And we have 3 placeholders. If they're pretty big, I guess, and they don't have any space, so let's make it a bit smaller, like that. Right? Of course, you can just drag them anytime you want or way you want, but the idea is to have them behave as good as possible. And we can align between them together, or we can align to the workspace. This is very handy so you can have them all working perfectly like that. And separation seems to be pretty decent, and that's it. And then we have this text. We can drag this text all the way to the bottom and make it so it's very big like that. Now for the text elements, we are going to do a couple of adjustments. We are going to be changing the font. You can upload your own fonts by clicking here and looking for those fonts in your computer, like this one. Yeah, just click open and it's going to show up in your database here, and you will have the fonts available, whatever fonts you want. The idea is to have upload them and have them available anytime you want for any different design or text within the design that you want. So I'm going for this one, yeah. And in this also is going to have the same font like that. Now the only difference with the lower text is we want to have multiple lines. So we're going to test that. I'm going to type something long again, like welcome to the best family ever. You notice how we keep typing, and when we reach the end of the box, Customily will try to shrink enough to fit everything, but it's going to stop at the minimum size. So if we want to control how small we want things to show, we have this minimum size to have this. So for example, this is as small as I want to print, because smaller than that will not look nice. And I'm clearly cutting off some characters. So what we can do is click on the automatic multi-line and have Customily try to fill this the best way possible. Right? We can always make it smaller like this. And you see, if you make it smaller, you're still fitting, but you are probably going to need less space. So now here we have this. Let's try and stretch this up a bit so we don't have any problems there. Probably going to jump this to 1, and yeah, and everything looks nice. So we have this text and we wanted this to have 2 lines. They can have 2 lines by keep typing and reaching the minimum size, so it's going to jump the line, or we can force the jump and the line anytime by just hitting the enter key. So customers will be able to choose between those 2. If we're going to be typing something small, we can check what's the maximum size. The maximum size is whatever you can fit on this box. Right now we have this top to 50, but we can keep going up, and eventually it's going to stop. Well, in this case, it's stopping at 50, so no mystery there. But this one, for example, has a maximum size of 24, right? Even if we have 50. And this can go again to, we can hold the click here on the eye to see this can go to 15. Now we don't like 15, so we're going to keep this in 20 or 18. So we can go a bit smaller, but not that smaller. So we are going to be testing texts all the time and see how they behave to avoid any surprises later for your customers. And for the images, we're going to do the same. We can try with images, which is very important because we want to see what the customer will see. Right now, if I try with an image, I can see that any vertical image or horizontal image will not show nicely on a square shape. But one thing we can do is we can open the image behavior section here and control a lot of things about this placeholder. For example, the color. We can set this to be grayscale or full color or even single color. And click on fill area to make sure that no matter what proportion we have, it's going to fill the entire shape. An extra thing we can do is actually reshape this square or rectangle to something else. For that, we have masks. And a mask is basically a black and white image. The black will be the place where the image will show, and the white will be hidden. So if I click upload mask, I will see that I have this particular shape. This is a square but has the rounded corners. This was created really fast in Canva, really, really fast. So there's no mystery there. You can just create a square and you can round the corners anytime you want. You can have a circle. You can have a shape of a heart or a diamond. Whatever you have that is black to show and white not to show will be enough for Customily to understand the shape that you need for this. And you see how it changes. It gives a different effect. And we can do the same for this and for this. So let's try again with the image just to make sure that we are going to be filling the area and uploading the mask. And trying with an image, fill the area, upload the mask like that. So now we have the design pretty much done. We can do some extra setting, which is to save you some time. For that, we are going to click on the open the layers here, and you see every single element on our design. The text 1, the text 5, we have the image upload 2, 3, and 4. We don't want this to show like this. For example, here we want this to be the name. So double click, edit. This one will be the image 1. This will be the image, double click, 2, enter, double click, image 3, enter, and this one double click is going to call the message, like that. With this renaming, you save a lot of time on the front end by making sure this is looking like that. So if we are happy with our design, it's time for us to save it. And that's our first design ready to go. By default, whenever you save a design, Customily will create the options for you. Options are basically this. They will create the text inputs. They will create the buttons for the images and everything ready to go to jump into your store and interact with the template that will be created later. Right now, we only have the design. The design is the last one on the last page. You can also search for that. And we see the new family member design. We can edit again, delete, clone, manage everything from the My Design section. But very important, we can edit the options here. When we click on Edit Options, you get a file that looks like this. Seems like a bit strange like that, but you can click on this corner to preview the options and understand how things work. Basically, you can click on the pencil to locate each item. So image 1, 2, and 3, name and message. If we want to change the order, you can click here and hold and drag up. So the name is the first one, then image 1, 2, and 3, and then the message. That's how you can set up, for example, the order in which your customers will follow the customization. So personalizing the customization experience will be very important. So you create a nice flow without any surprises, with clear instructions and presenting everything in order. Now, one thing, the message here, both the name and the message are text inputs. But if we click on the pencil to open message, you see that here, right now, there's only one line of text. So if we are allowing for multiple lines, then we should allow customers to have a text area so they can hit enter. So if we check this, make it text area, now you see this is bigger, and we can limit the number of lines, for example, to 2, so people cannot keep hitting enter, right? Only 2 lines. And you see you can limit the number of characters, you can set initial values. We can check that later. But basically, we wanted to make sure this is a text area and customers are able to jump lines like that. Once we are happy with this, we can scroll all the way down and save these options again. So let's see how we create a new product by combining our product base of the bookmark and our design of the new family member. We go to the start section and we create a new product. We are not going to be using PODs. We're going to be using our product bases. We are our own fulfillment. We click here, and depending on the product you select, you will see any variants or not. So bookmark, live session bookmark is the one we want to use. We don't have any variants, so in this stage, we are not going to be picking any colors, any sizes, etc. We're just going to click next. When we click next, we can pick the design. And this is the really interesting part. If you remember my introduction, we can actually pick from the Customily design collection. And we can see 260 plus designs here, organized in categories with a lot of clipboard ideas and a lot of styles that you can use freely. And you can actually put any of these designs on your bookmark. Of course, these are all mainly square designs, so on the long bookmark, they may not be nice, but nothing stops you from grabbing these cliparts and on another product and then have access to the characters to put just one boy or one girl on top of the bookmark and then customize anything below. It's endless what you can do with these ideas and Customily's designs, as well as your own designs. So if you pick any of these categories or designs, you will create the product using these elements. But we want to create and use our own designs. So I'm going to pick from this section and find on the last page this new family member design. When I click here, the process begins of Customily creating a new listing on my Etsy or Shopify store. That new listing will have a unique template that is being created also here, combining our product-based information and our design information. That template will also have an option set as well linked to the product. And so everything will be ready to work like this. Right now, I'm just spinning a revision before we can publish our new product. You will see that the product-based information is here with the advantage that we now have this chance of adding a name, and you see how we type and it starts to work. Like that, or like this. Yeah, I like this one better. And we can upload images any way we want. You see, everything is working exactly the way we tested it. We can, as a visitor, as a shopper, we can edit the image within the boundaries of the box. You see how the mask is performing to give shape, how the print area is slightly tilted and rotated to match the image, even if we are printing straightforward, like that and like that. So probably going to do like this, and probably going to do, let's strip this like that and that like this. Yeah, so we at least see something different. Now, if we are very happy with this preview to show our customers what you can do, we can click this button to save it as our new listing photo. Otherwise, the default listing is the empty product itself. So if we click here, we have a new image that shows the example of customization. Also, before we save and publish, we can, preview this bigger, right? And there are a couple of things we can do, and I recommend you do it, is edit here, edit product details. It's very important here that you change the name that is going to be saved on your store, basically because we want this to be easy to find later on a bunch of products in our Etsy or Shopify store. So this live session family member bookmark will show, and there's a quick price setting. So you can always do this on the back end of your e-commerce. But if you just set it up right now, as well as the description, it saves you time. So save the product, and we are back to the revision page, and we can click publish to just send this over as an active product ready to sell. Or you can click save draft and keep it in your store as a draft until you wish to make it active on any sales channel. I'm going to click publish. Now you see this new product, this live session family member bookmark, is ready to visit on our store, and is ready to also customize because the options have been loaded and the template has been loaded, and I can type whatever I want and see my live preview change and give me a realistic example of my product. Questions so far? I am trying to add Christmas ornaments for pets, but when trying to import one of your designs, it's the wrong size for the ornament. Okay, so this question is about using a print-on-demand product and connecting to a Customily design. The thing that happens, and maybe we can focus on that, is that not all products are perfect, not all print areas are perfect, and of course, you need to be able to adjust designs later in Customily. The advantage is you can do it also. But the process of putting up a new listing and creating the template and connecting everything and also make the API connection to the print-on-demand provider is very important. So if we were to do, let's do something silly like putting up this design we just created on any POD product. Or we can also go and pick one of our designs. For example, I'm pretty sure that this question is about creating a new product, picking a print-on-demand provider, and then picking one of the ornaments for pets. Let's check ornaments on the filter. This is the POD catalog, and we can check glass, metal, wooden, acrylics, ceramics. I don't know which one of these was tested with our design, or maybe it was a Christmas ball. Perhaps on the chat, Morena can help me and we can do a live example more accurate to the question. Okay, so if we pick acrylics, you have quantities and shapes and sizes. So this has a unique shape, which is good. There are other products that have shapes like trees, bells, or ovals. That's not kind of. Let's go with one piece, okay? And that's the only variant we need to pick. The others are fixed. And once we have at least one variant picked, we can click next to pick a design. We can go to our design collection the same way we just did with the bookmark, or pick from the Customily designs. So I'm going to go for the Christmas collection here and see to find something round like this, or maybe something like the last ones. Now this is something like this could be. Okay, my first Christmas. Yeah, this looks really nice. So let's pick this. If the print area or the safe area of any product or any print information is smaller than the official print area, then there is a slight chance that our designs will look bigger. And it is important that you see that, because either you want to print like that because the POD will understand the instruction because the size is exact to what they want, or you may want to shrink that to a more safe design. And you can do that using Customily. That's the advantage. So for example, I just created this. This shows pretty well, I would say. You can even admit that it will have a square. In any case that they don't, I will show you the template. But remember, this is the combination. This is a template. This is a combination of a design and a product base. So I'm going to edit the name. So we're going to call this the my first ornament, right? Like that. And keep note price. We're just going to change the name so we can at least find that in my store, which is pretty packed. And of course, we're going to be trying out the options from Customily. We have a snowman with different, I like green, yeah. And the baby name is and the date of birth will be for November 30, 2050, like that. So yeah, save it to and like that. So I'm going to just save this as a draft and show you what happens if the design is too big. It depends on the print area and the save areas of each ornament. So it's very important to keep that on mind. What happened now, and I can check my store section and see that here I can go through the option sets created, the products linked, or the preview and style settings, all in here. I'm going to pick products, and I'm going to find the one that I just called the test. It was like, test wooden ornament, my first ornament test. So this is my newest product in my store. And if I pick here, I'm still in Customily always, but I can see my store. I can see which templates is being loaded and which options are being loaded. And I can click here on the shortcuts to open my template. This is the unique template created for this particular product, and you can clone it, delete, or edit any way you want, or rename it if you want also. I'm going to click on the edit button and see what Customily created for me and also make changes. You see, these are all the elements of our design. We have the background which is the background is probably the base shape. Then we have the snowflakes, then we have the snowman, we have the baby name, and the breath background as well. Everything is here looking really nice. Now you see the breath is a bit smaller, and the background, which is empty, shows the entire print size. So this edge here, this distance you see here, is probably contemplating the bleed of your of this design, of this product. But in any case, you can double check that, or you can grab everything except the background, and you can pick on the last one, hold the shift key and pick the first one, so you can select everything between those two, and you will have one big wrapping box that you can pick here, and holding the mouse key, you can drag to resize. If you also hold the shift key, then you will resize centered, and resizing to you reach the necessary bleed will be enough for you to reshape that. Nothing will change about your properties and stuff. You're going to be making sure you're printing within the safe zone of any design. If you want to know what is the safe zone, you can always find Printify, and in this case, or any POD, acrylic, ornament, and they have information about the safe zones and print area. If this is not the right one, we can also find for acrylic ornament. Is I think it's this one. Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. So if you want to check, for example, in the start designing, you will see what the print and safe zone is all about. You see, this particular product prints very close to the edge, so that's why it's showing pretty nice. Some others will have another safe zone that is smaller, but this information, as well as the print area size and stuff. This is being taken by Customily and presenting that on this. So this bleed was probably what we saw at the beginning in this distance, correct? But in any case, if you know there's a bigger bleed, you can just adjust this like that. And that's okay. That's what's going to be printed. Nothing more, nothing else. And you can jump next and make sure that that correction you made on the print, you can also grab it by picking all the elements and also adjusting them again to match the right printing. This is a manual adjustment, but it's something that could happen depending on the design, depending on the product, depending on the print area and everything. But coming to the template is the best way to make sure, and we click next to see this, that whatever you are going to be printing is going to be replicating on the preview. The print area, is predefined by the product. So if you know which ornaments you're going to be selling, you can double check the print area in here. So this was one ornament, and another ornament could be this, which has another design in place. You see, this one has a different safe area. The print area is everything. So if we input this on any design, it will be exactly this, but there's a safe area. And so sometimes you want your design to be cut off by the whole. Sometimes you don't want that to be cut off by the whole. So in those cases, when you have these particular details you want to check, going through the template is the best way to be more accurate and precise. So right now I made sure that I skip the whole in this adjustment I made. You don't type the print area size. That's given by the print on demand provider. The only place in which you will be able to put your print area is if you create a product base or a template just from the beginning. There's a question about if you want to go, let's save this correction and go back to the template again, just so I can answer a question about what if we want to do a bit of an adjustment to the design from Customily. So again, we can revisit our template here. I think it's better than just going through the list. If you want to do changes to your design, to the Customily design, you're free to do it. Why? Let's say you want this structure, but you have a better red background. So let's remove this. I think there's more options. Oh no, we can just disconnect this library and upload images from our computer, for example. If we want to change on the baby name, we want to change the font, we can click this text and change the font at any point. See, you can modify this once it's created. And the same goes with the, if we want to add new elements, another text box, we can do so. We can do whatever we want here. Now, remember that if you add more elements, these new elements will not update on the options, right? On the, what was this? Let's click here to view the product. The options are static to the elements in here. So if you want to add new items, like another text input, you will need to go to the option sets and add the option for the new element. So pay attention to that, because adding new elements will not add the options automatically. Now, if you want to create a specific design for a specific product, you can go to the My Design section, and answering one of the questions I'm seeing right now is creating a new design. And if you know for a fact that this ornament will have a 900 by 900 300 dpi print area size, you could start your design. Wait, yeah, you could start your design with the same adjustments. I mean, it's going to be a square, so you don't need to make the changes. But if you want to, because you have a specific size, just click on the resize button here, switch to pixel units, and type exactly what the POD is telling you. 900 by 900 in 300 dpi. That's it. You're working with that particular size. So if you have another proportions, you can enter them, so your canvas will have the same proportions, and you can work directly with the right size and proportions any way you want. So that in new designs, you could actually go for the exact input of the product you will be connecting later, and that will give you more precision. It will give you less headaches later. Now, with Customily designs, you may need to do some adjustments because they have pre-made sizes and proportions that may not be perfect to the selected product. But if you're going to be creating your designs and you know the end product, just resize from the beginning and do that work from that resizing of the beginning. And checking other questions. Okay, well, it was good that we did this ornament so we could check how things work out when using Customily designs. We won't have time for another bookmark, but you will have the assets and you will be able to play around with this idea and check out how we did this on our site. To have the notes, you know this from previous live sessions. You will have everything to put this up together on your own, and will be a really interesting challenge for you. So, having not furthering Q&A time and questions, thank you to Morena for answering many of them. The only thing I left to say is that I really hope you enjoy this. I really hope you are a bit more clear about how Customily works. And remember, we have an excellent support team available to help you doing your first steps and assist you with anything you need. You can reach out to them via email. You can open a live chat in the app during business hours. And also you can join our Facebook communities where you can ask questions and share tips with other users of the app. And well, that's all for today. I hope you had a great time and you like the products we selected for you. Stay tuned for next live sessions. On next week, the first week of November, we are going to be having a live session on 31 October, but there will be no live session on November 2nd. We're going to be returning on the second week of November. So see you next week with more ideas for you. Have a great weekend.